everyone, welcome to my channel. I am Maddie and today I'm going to be reading out my hate comments. Part of becoming a YouTuber is always inevitably getting random hate comments, and I was figuring, why not make money off of it now that I'm monetized, which by the way, I'm monetized now. I'm so excited because I'm going to be using that money to save it for law school, so I'm just so grateful to have that opportunity. But two real quick things before I start reading them and, just talking about them. First of all, I finally improved my lighting situation. Before, I've always had my lighting like right here in front of me down low. Now I finally figured out you're supposed to have it a bit higher up than you and at a 45-degree angle. I know that's not a big deal, but it took me way too long to figure that out. Also, second of all, I never really ban comments off my channel unless they use slurs or are actively harmful or bullying. So there's a huge chance that these comments are still up on certain videos. I am going to be blurring out people's profile pictures and channel names and all that, but please, if you do see these people on here, do not go and harass them. This is all just out of good fun, and why not make money off my hate? So that's how I view it. So with all that said, let's get into it. Our first one up is on one of the videos I did where I was dressing up as different characters from TADC. It says, "Go get a burger, little piggy." Actually a hamburger does sound really good right now. It really does. Where at though? That is the question. I do like Five Guys, but they're a little bit too greasy at times. Don't come for me. I actually do kind of like Burger King, and Wendy's is pretty good too. McDonald's is awful now. It was actually a good idea. I should make a tier list of all the different burger joints out there. That would be a good idea. So actually, thank you to this person. Now I've got that idea. Alright, next up, this video is trash. Random. Okay, so they're pointing down like this towards nothing. It's not like they're pointing down to the like button, so I don't know what they're trying to do. Then blah 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 blah, and we just have a bunch of throwing up emojis and then poop emojis. Okay, if you don't like the video, you don't have to watch it. And also, I'm always open to constructive criticism on videos. If you can tell me something you don't like about the video, I would truly love to hear it, because then I can improve them in the future and make them more to your liking, especially if multiple people are agreeing with you, like, yeah, like this part was boring, or I didn't like this part. I love constructive criticism, truly. It's what helps me make my channel better. So if I could get a little bit of feedback on that from this person, I would love it. Alright, this was on the video with my grandpa. It says, "Insane aura from the grandpa, forget the random girl to the right." You know what, I'm just glad that you guys are really appreciating my grandpa. He really deserves it, and I'm glad that you guys have given him so much love. So this one doesn't even really offend me. If we could go from the practical stance of, I get that probably when I'm making videos with my grandpa, I'm not the most engaging part of the video, and that is fully my intent. I want him to have the spotlight in those videos. I'm happy to be the random girl to the right, so I'm fine with that. Realistically, he cannot make those videos on his own. He doesn't have the stuff to film for them. He doesn't know how to edit videos. That actually gives me an idea. I would love to see him try to edit a video. I want to see that now. I'll probably have to teach him how to do that at some point. That would be fun. And he doesn't know how to upload stuff to YouTube. So, realistically, I do have to kind of be there, because the whole point is that I'm showing him characters that he hasn't seen before. He's not going to be able to do that on his own. But honestly, I'm just happy that he's getting the recognition he deserves. He's awesome. Another one on a video I made with my grandpa, the one where he was answering questions about the 50s and 60s. "From the silent generation, and his grandchild is whatever societal rot pops out of the microwave. YouTube Shorts videos just showcase it in full form. Unfortunate." First of all, he's from the boomer generation, just to clear that up really quick. Second of all, it's a video where I'm asking him questions about what music and movies he liked in the 60s. If that's what we're grading societal rot by, and that's the downfall of society, then we are truly just doomed, because that's a very low bar for societal rot and degeneracy. Bro, Hasman, Midtel, and the Big 26. A lot of people still watch it. It's not like it died off or anything. And then of course we have the wilted rose emoji. The one thing that always annoys me is those wilted rose emojis. At first I always looked at them like, what is that? Because I'm not on TikTok where a lot of these emojis and phrases seem to come from. So I used to look at that and I'm like, what does that mean? So I actually had to Google it. I had to Google what that means, and it's so overused at this point that it's just kind of annoying, but I don't really mind those. Alright, this is not a kids movie show that there's kids on YouTube scrolling, and it's TVMA, because this was a video I made about Hasbin Hotel. YouTube does have age restrictions on stuff, and I do mark all my videos not for kids. So if a kid lies about their age on their account or something like that, then I really can't help it. You know, there's a lot of stuff on YouTube kids should not be watching, and also the part that I put here, the clip of Husband Hotel, it was not explicit or anything. So I would get it if I was showing that part, but at the same time, I can't control what every single person on YouTube watches. Bro, ISTG, what does that mean? Is that standing for Instagram? See, there are so many of these little abbreviations now that I just can't keep track of all of them, so whenever I read them, I just have like this little buzzing noise in my head, and I'm like, what does that mean? So, bro, ISTG, YouTube is trying to turn me gay. Like, stop. Hey, we welcome you, okay? If you are struggling with this, we truly welcome you here. You know, I don't think YouTube is trying to turn you into anything other than, you know, a cash cow, but okay. Please stop recommending these videos to me. Anyways, the show isn't over. You can't take the win like you take different cultures. I do not understand that last part at all. I can't recommend people videos on YouTube on your For You page. It's just gonna pop up. I have absolutely no control over that. So likely if you're seeing these videos, it's because you comment on them a lot like you do here, and then you're just gonna see more and more and more of them. So I have no control over that. This has to be rage bait, right? Then we've got the tired emoji. I don't post rage bait. I know it is an easy way to get views. I just don't agree with it because it can just hurt so many people when you post rage bait. And also just kind of a cheap way, and you can't really build a community off of it a lot of times. Oh. This white boy cannot be saying the N-word, so I'm gonna blur out this particular part, but he says the N-word, and then he says, who's still watching this? Prayer emoji, crying emoji. Yeah, I don't know how people keep getting around the slur thing on here, because on YouTube Studio you can block certain words that you do not want to see on your channel, and I have blocked all slurs, but people will sometimes get around it by switching out vowels, which they've done here. Like, they changed the I out for an O, so I guess I mean, if you're that determined to do it, I don't think, you know, you shouldn't be doing that. Alright, oh, same person. Why I am homophobic. Well, I don't know why you are. That's a good question. Alright, this is another video with my grandpa. Alright, I feel bad for the grandpa having a chud granddaughter. We all need to help the poor grandpa. What's a chud? You know what? I'm gonna Google that. What is a chud? It's a movie from 1984. Chud is a derogatory internet slang term used to insult someone as unpleasant, unintelligent, or a regressive person, often specifically applied to those with far-right political views. Originating from the 1984 sci-fi horror film Chud, Cannibalistic Humanoid Underground Dweller, viewed has transitioned from a niche online political insult to a more generalized term for a loser. Well, I don't think I'm the chud in this situation, because the thing is, a lot of people learn how to be polite in kindergarten. We learn manners, and we learn how not to insult people, and we learn to be nice. Clearly, this person is a little behind with that, so, you know, maybe they need a little help. I don't know. I don't want to judge. Son, I'm cringe. Well, I mean, if you're still hate commenting, I guess you are a little cringe. I don't know what you want me to do about that. Ew. It's probably what your mom said when you were born. Bro, who the F are you, and why are you on my feed? Get off my feed. Again, I cannot control your For You page. Your For You page is all up to you. Things I better not see in Husband Hotel Season 3. The show, it is so, and then we have the A word here, then a bunch of crying emojis. Then don't watch it. You know, if you don't want to see it, you really don't have to watch it. This is the corniest crap I have ever seen. Never let bro have a YouTube channel again. I gotta mention this because so many comments are doing this. Whatever happened to using commas? It's so hard to read when, you know, we just have these run-on sentences. There's several videos here that just have random links to different things. I'm a little worried about pressing the links because I don't want to get hacked or doxxed or something like that. I've actually had several people threaten to dox me, which is funny. I had a TADC video where I was ranking different TADC characters just out of 10. It was a short, and I think I gave Jax a 7 out of 10. I could be wrong, but it was up there. And then there were 3 different people that threatened to dox me. One person threatened to dox me because I ranked him 7, and that was way too high. Another person told me to myself, if you know what I'm saying, and they threatened to dox me because I said he was a 7 or an 8, I forget what it was, and that was way too low. He needed to be a 10. And then the one person didn't really give me a reason. So I'm not going to show those comments here because I reported them, which automatically takes them off your channel. A lot of these comments used to really affect me, you know. I used to read them when I was a much smaller YouTuber a couple months ago, well, not a couple months ago, back in November. I just hit 1K subscribers, and I used to think that, you know, hate comments were a huge deal. Now I've just kind of gotten used to them. I remember back then at one point, I had this one person just spam me all day with all this just really bad stuff. Like they kept going at it, and I didn't know at that time you could just block someone from your channel. So I was going through and I had to read them all and delete them. I remember just going to my shower that night and just crying. But you know, at this point now I just view it as it's free engagement for me. I'm getting money off of it, you know. If it makes them feel better, it's just showing their own character. So like I said, don't go and harass these people. This is all in good fun. And yeah, I really hope you enjoyed the video. It was fun to make, and I will see you next time. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and have a great day.